Um, how's your journey been with sobriety?
Um, it's been interesting to say the least. I checked myself into outpatient rehab. Because I just don't personally think I can do it on my own like you have and mom and dad have, and I guess even Isaac has done for short durations of time in the past. I just need a little bit more help. Abuse the worst in the family.
Yeah, without a doubt. I can't control myself either.
Yeah. I mean, I was spending half of my income on drugs and alcohol. So, like, I was barely able to afford my rent or save any money. My house work was getting behind. My car's fucked up. I just didn't care about anything, you know? Sleeping around, like, just not very happy or satisfied. So, kind of figured I need to make a change in my life before shit gets really bad. I end up homeless or get in trouble with law enforcement or accidentally kill somebody, bro, you know?
Yeah. How would you kill someone? Just drink driving in something? Or?
Drunk driving, fighting, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, just not good. I'm not a small boy by any means.
Yeah.
So.
You're a big guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, fuck, like, I'm lucky I haven't gotten in trouble with law enforcement yet. The amount of times I drove drunk or gotten into fights, like, I knocked out a person and they passed out on the concrete. You know, if they hit their head wrong, they could have had brain damage, you know?
Yeah, they really could.
Like, that's not good, bro. So.
High testosterone and alcohol does not mix.
No, not
I
at
get
all.
hot-headed too, so.
Yeah, I have a hard time controlling my temper sometimes. Normally, I'm
and
pretty...
it's not a masculine thing. Like, when you're, like, drunk,
Yeah.
it's almost like being a little girl because you're, like, you can't control your emotions.
Yeah, you're sensitive and you
Exactly.
you choose to divulge and settle your problems with violence
Yeah.
rather than trying to talk them out or removing yourself from the situation.
Yeah,
Violence-
you're seen as more masculine.
Violence
being able to
should
control your
only
emotions.
be used to protect yourself.
Yeah, I agree.
And that's
Yeah.
like last resort. Like you can run away. I mean, it's not a non-masculine thing to run away. You're trying to mitigate conflict. Like, why would you want to hurt yourself unnecessarily? You know what I'm saying? Like, just
Yeah.
it's important to learn how to remove yourself from situations. I think we have a weird understanding of what masculinity is, and we kind of need to redefine that because
I don't think it's confusing at all.
well,
Masculinity, what are traits of masculine people? They're strong and they're loyal. What other
I think
traits?
some people's like old-fashioned understanding of masculinity or in certain cultures, you know, like you stand on business, like
Well, the masculine people are meant to, like, yeah, old-fashioned maybe, sure, but being more masculine, they're used to protect families and stuff.
Yeah.
So I don't think being more masculine is a toxic thing at all.
I don't either.
There is
I
such
just
thing
think
as
that
being...
like old-fashioned masculinity, I feel like they kind of chose to be violent more often than they should have.
What do you mean?
Like, I feel like when people got in arguments or they didn't like what people were saying, they chose to settle the score with fighting more often than not versus like having a conversation and removing themselves.
Yeah.
I mean, like, and I'm talking about like people in 40s and up, you know? Like, I think the older generations shows violence a little bit more often. And then like maybe people from
I don't know
lower
if that's
income.
true, dude, because violence has gotten way worse over a course of time. And I think it's because men
think?
are more feminine now. Yeah. People have gotten way more violent over time. And I think it's that
I don't know
people
about-
not understanding their masculinity, and men are more feminine and not in touch with their emotions. Like I said,
I don't know about
being able to
physically.
control your emotions, though, is a more masculine approach. I don't think fighting is masculine.
Yeah, I mean, unless it's
I mean-
sportsman, like,
Sure, yeah, competitive.
yeah, that's fine.
It's fun to be competitive. That's also a masculine trait, too, yeah.
It's important to know how to defend yourself, no matter
Yeah,
what, as well,
it is.
male or female.
Well, if it comes down to it, a masculine guy should step up and be able to defend a family.
I mean,
like
yeah,
imagine if someone was going to take your kids from you or something.
It's definitely important to be capable of violence, no matter who you are. You
Yeah.
have to have that in you, because otherwise, I mean, you're gonna get.
I think men
taken
are a lot more
advantage of.
feminine now and aren't in touch with their emotions. They just let their emotions go.
Yeah, I don't know if violence
Because
manifests
masculinity
into,
is bad.
I
and
don't know if
think
violence
masculinity
manifests
is
into
bad.
like fist fighting as often as it used to. Now it's a lot more like cheap threats and guns. You know, like
Uh-huh.
I don't know if people settle shit with their hands as often anymore. They go straight to weapons because we're kind of an instant gratification generation, and like
Uh-huh.
people just want to turn up the violence the fastest with the least amount of
Well,
consequences.
they're pussies, bro. They don't want to use their fucking hands. I think that's a pussy way of evening up the cards too. I think you use words first. Words fail, use fists. Fists fail, so on.
Yeah, but hopefully you don't have to even get to that point at all. You know.
Yeah, that's true. That's why you use words.
Yeah. I mean, if I see it going in that direction, I remove myself, unless I'm fucked up, which is part of the reason like I'm choosing
To be sober?
be sober. Yeah,
Yeah.
because like I don't like I hold my tongue a lot, and I don't speak up for myself as often as I should. So
that
then
builds
I like
resentment, doesn't it?
when I
Like,
get
you get
drunk,
mad?
I
Yeah.
fucking let it all out at once, or I'll take it out on one person that annoys me, and that's dangerous, dude.
Yeah, I'm learning that too right
Because
now.
I
being
mean,
more
I become a
confrontational.
bully when I'm drunk sometimes,
Uh-huh.
and I don't like being a bully, bro. I don't want to be a bully.
Well, you got to learn to be more confrontational and address the subject right away.
Yeah, and
Or else you get resentment into you, and then you're gonna take that out at someone else. Like you said, like you being a bully,
it's hard for me to.
and that's seen as a masculine trait too, being confrontational and not fighting them right away, like we talked about, but you're
Yeah.
still there and asserting your dominance, I guess.
It's hard for me to be confrontational without being aggressive or overly emotional. So like I choose to hold my tongue more often than not because I'm afraid that I won't have control over my emotions, and then like I also
A lot
just
of men
don't
are like
always.
that, though.
I also don't always
You're
know.
young and you're learning.
I also don't always know if it's worth having the conversation.
It is. It definitely is.
I think a lot of the
Trust me.
time it is, but I don't know. I guess I just try to pick and choose my battles. It's a
That's true. I
journey,
guess
that's for
not
sure.
giving everyone attention. Yes, there are some stuff that's like so little that it's like as little as a fly, like whatever, brush it
Yeah,
off.
it's like this is
But I do think
enough
you
of an
should.
inconvenience for me to really make a big stink about it.
Yeah, I do think you should assert the situation right away, or address the situation right away.
For as big as I am, though, I feel like a lot of people perceive me as a little bit of a pushover or unintelligent because I always do most things people ask of me, and I'm silly. So I need to work on, which not that I hate either one of those things. I like being of service to people and I like being silly, but I also need to show people I'm more capable than just those things. Like I'm also capable of being intelligent and assertive.
Yeah,
It's just hard.
you are,
know?
which you are. You are very intelligent, and I've seen you be assertive. It's just learning to do that with other people.
Yeah, my default setting is goofy though, and I feel like a lot of the times I unnecessarily act silly when I should probably turn it off.
Do you think it's a coping mechanism?
Oh yeah, for sure. Humor is my number one coping mechanism. I mean, I would laugh when I got in trouble growing up, because like I think that's just my brain's way of protecting itself. It's like I'd rather, because I love to laugh. Laughing is great.
Yeah, it's fun.
So
I
it's
love
like
laughing too.
I just
Who
try to
doesn't?
turn bad situations into silly ones because I'm like I don't want to hurt, so I'd rather make a joke out of it.
Yeah,
But not everything is supposed to be laughed at, you know.
yeah, you are supposed to feel those things.
Yeah, it's like I don't always let myself feel emotions appropriately, especially anger and sadness. I struggle with those quite a bit.
Well, my sadness comes out as anger a lot.
Yeah, I know that as your brother for sure.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know why. It's just how I express it. Like
yeah,
even
you're
when
not
I'm
the most
sad.
vulnerable person when it comes to being sad.
Yeah.
I've
That's my coping
I've never
mecha-
seen you cry hardly my whole life.
Yeah. Well, that's my coping mechanism for being sad. I
Yeah.
become angry for whatever reason. That's just how I do it.
Well, that's not true. I think I am pretty good about sadness. Maybe anger is where I struggle. I think anger is where I struggle. Because when I'm sad, I always tell people, like, I'm upset and I'm pretty vulnerable. Anger is where I have a hard time. Like, I don't know how to handle anger. And I don't like feeling angry. It's a scary emotion to me.
That's why I listen to heavy metal, bro. I'm an angry guy, and I have to get it out somehow. It's also why I like doing jujitsu or boxing. if I didn't do that, I would be seriously afraid of hurting someone.
I think I need to practice it more
Yeah.
in my life in
Yeah.
a healthy way.
There is such
For
thing as
sure.
toxic masculinity. I'm gonna go back to that. Like,
Yeah, that's fair.
and I think that is people that don't understand their masculine side, that let their emotions go, and they do beat their wife or whatever.
Sorry to interrupt. Are we-
As toxic masculinity, when men don't understand their emotions and they just let everything go and like they beat their wife and stuff, that is toxic.
Yeah.
But masculinity itself is not toxic. Just like there is also toxic
Femininity, yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, for sure there is. Yeah, just trying to understand and define those terms appropriately can be difficult, you know. And our understanding of what's right and wrong changes culturally all the time. So, you know, a lot of it's going to be anecdotal, you know. It's like your and I's opinion on certain things aren't going to be the same as others. And that's
True,
That's
yeah.
okay. You just have to
Learn to disagree without like.
yeah, and just be firm in your beliefs
Yeah.
and also just be
Well, if you
open-minded.
don't have a belief though, bro, you're almost a coward if you don't stand up for something. Like I hate when people are in the middle of the picket fence.
On everything?
Yes,
Yeah.
because they don't stand for anything.
Yeah. I mean, I struggled with that for a long time, and I still do.
I do too.
In a
Well,
lot
I
of ways.
believe the world is like there's so much gray in this world, bro. Like
I
it's
agree.
not black and white. So I try to figure out what, like with certain scenarios, it doesn't go for everything, but you still have to choose a side, and you are gonna be a hypocrite with either side that you align with. You're just bound to be a hypocrite, but you're not a coward.
Yeah. Hypocrite.
I would rather be a hypocrite than a coward.
Hypocrite's an interesting word to choose.
Why? Well,
Because hypocrite, from my understanding of the
Uh-huh.
word, means you
do something
say
that you
one
don't believe
thing
in.
and then you do another.
Yeah, exactly. Well, you believe that you should be sober, but you still drink. That's being a hypocrite. But we
Yeah.
both believe that you should be sober.
No,
I'm a hypocrite for doing that, but I still believe that.
I'm not
You
doing
get what
that.
I mean?
I'm not doing that at the moment.
I
But
know.
yes, I understand.
Yeah, I get what you mean. I'm not sorry to say give an example like that. I know that's false, but
Yeah.
you get what I mean, though.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I think that we all do that shit. You know, like
Everyone's a hypocrite. No one is not a hypocrite. I say stuff all the time that I do the opposite of. Like I genuinely believe people should be good, but I'm a dick.
Yeah, of course.
Sometimes.
But I think
Not a
that
dick all
also
the time,
comes back to
but-
like being open-minded. I think it's good to more or less have a firm set of beliefs, but not too firm to where you never change your mind, because that's really fucking dangerous.
Yeah,
not being
that's true.
open-minded is dangerous.
That's a good example too. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you want to be
You
as
shouldn't
firm
hold
as
them
you
like an
can be.
ideology.
You want to be as firm as you can be without. You want to be as firm as you can be without letting bad shit happen at the cost of sticking to your beliefs.
And this is what I mean by the world is so gray. That's
Yeah.
perfect way of saying it because it's not so black and white. It
No,
does
not
depend
at
on
all, yeah.
situations, you know.
Yeah, for sure. And that's like, I don't know. That's what people just have to understand is, I mean, almost nothing in life is inherently right or wrong or true or false. There's wiggle room for almost everything. So you just gotta,
But you should still stand for something.
yeah, you just do your best to educate yourself and do your best to find a firm set of beliefs that you agree with and stick to them, and I don't know, just roll with the punches and continually evolve and grow, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And have enough courage to admit your shortcomings and work on yourself. Like, that's a big thing I'm trying to learn with my sobriety, is I'm trying to be less afraid to talk about it and less ashamed. And
Be more open.
like,
Yeah.
dude, I'm a fucking alcoholic addict, bro. It
Me too. I say that all the time. It sucks saying it at first, bro. But
Yeah.
the more you say it, the happier you'll be.
And I'm pretty,
Trust me.
I mean,
Accepting it.
I've been in and out of the program of recovery since I was 19. And I'm 24 now. I think trying to find sobriety when you're so young is definitely hard. Because, I mean, your brain's not fully developed, and, I mean...
I don't like who I am when I'm an addict, too.
I don't either, yeah. You're
You're not the same person. I think everyone who is like drunk you is like sober thoughts, and that's not true at all.
I
Like
don't.
you are
I don't.
not
I hate when people say that shit.
same because you're a different person. You act
Way
differently.
different.
And I think a lot of people are addicts and they don't know it. like they have a bad relationship with drugs or other stuff. Like we have relationships with everything.
Yeah, and
And they have
it
bad
manifests
relationship with
way
drugs.
past just drugs and alcohol. Like in the program, we talk about dry drunks or dry addicts. You know,
What is that?
you fix your, because I mean, at the end of the day, anybody that suffers with the disease of addiction, they're mentally ill.
Uh-huh.
And they're hurt in some sort of way, which is why they decide to self-medicate
Right.
with substances, because they're mentally ill and they're damaged.
Yeah.
But like just because you get sober doesn't mean your thinking gets better.
It
So
doesn't,
like
bro.
you can still have addict
Well,
mentality.
it does get better, actually. I want to take that back. I was sober for a whole year, bro, and
It does, but it's not guaranteed. And like you have to,
learn to cope with it without doing drugs.
well, not only that, you have to learn how to fix some of your bad thinking and stuff. And I'm sure like
Yeah.
you weren't only focused on your sobriety. You tried to change, you know, some of your bad thought behaviors and stuff as well. Like some people, they'll get sober and then they never address what caused them to use in the first place, or they won't address, you know, just their mental health, and they just still have hard, shitty lives because they don't try to work on their mental health.
Right.
They're just sober.
They just stop growing.
Yeah, and I mean that's gonna fix. Getting sober fixes a lot of things for addicts, but it doesn't fix everything. I mean, you still got to work on your brain and yourself and
Yeah.
your health.
I'm not a year sober anymore. I literally, the day after I was smoking weed and doing shit dumb, bro, and I've noticed that as an addict, I'm going to go to the full depth of being a piece of shit. That's just who I am.
Yeah,
There's no in between. There might be a little bit where I'm like, oh, I can do this and handle it in my life, which is not true. I know I can't.
yeah.
I literally just go too far every single time. So
Mm.
I'm back to day one. I did drink last night, and I know that I'm going to have to do another year sober,
Well, you know, and
one day at a time.
the cool thing about the program is, dude, like, they don't care.
They don't.
There's this guy
They-
named Kenny,
yeah.
really cool dude. He had years of sobriety. He relapsed, like, recently.
Yeah.
And everybody was so nice to him. He's so welcoming and kind, like, because it's a part of the disease, you know?
It is.
It's almost
Yeah.
inevitable, as scary and as shitty as that sounds. And that's what turned me away from the program for a while, because, like, I was like, fuck,
Well,
dude.
the
Like,
thought of being sober your whole life is so scary, but you just take it one day at a time. That's all
Yeah.
you can do is focus for today. That's literally what they say, just for today.
yeah. I mean, I don't know. I got a sponsor for the first time since I've been in the program today, which is
Uh-huh.
pretty exciting for me.
That is awesome.
So,
So you're going to try to work the steps and everything with them, or?
yeah, I'm going to try to take it more serious this time. I mean, I haven't been sober longer than 4 months since I was like, it sounds like a lie, but it's true, bro. Since I was 11 years old,
I believe you.
which
Yeah.
is fucking crazy to say out loud, but
Uh-huh.
yeah, man. I need all the help I can get, so I'm really trying to work
I'm
the
here for you.
program the right way this time rather than
I'm here
whatever.
for you if you need anything ever, bro. I know it's hard and it's not easy, so.
Yeah, I appreciate it, dude. I mean, likewise, but I don't know. I mean, I'm excited. I feel so much better. The first 4
That's
days
good.
sucked
Dude,
because I was
after 6 months, you're going to feel amazing. Like, you're going to realize that you'll have the most motivation ever in your life, and
Yeah.
you're going to get shit done.
I'm not even 2 weeks yet, to be perfectly honest.
And you already are starting to feel better, huh?
Well, yeah.
How'd you feel after your first week?
The first 4 days, I was coming down.
So it's kind of sucky?
Yeah, but I mean, by day 5, I mean, I have good and bad days. Like, my emotions are coming back. Like,
It sucks dealing
I've
with them.
I've almost cried during a couple meetings because like all my feelings come back and someone says some shit. and
The
they'll touch
nightmares
me.
are terrible, too. I would have nightmares for the first month, and I'd be scared.
I haven't had nightmares.
scared,
but
bro.
I have dreams about using. I'll dream about alcohol.
Yep,
and then
that means that you're healing, though.
I'll
That's
wake
a good
up.
thing,
I'll
yeah.
wake up scared, like, oh shit, did I drink?
Yeah.
Because like I'll dream about drinking.
It's crazy.
It's fucked up.
Like
bro.
you're drunk in your dream or something.
When you feel like you're almost fucked up and you're like, dude, that's another
Yeah.
weird thing. Like I used to
Dreams are weird.
I'll dream about being high or drunk, and I'll feel actually high or drunk in my dream.
Same.
It's like, I
I'm the
don't
same
know how
way.
your body does that, but it's wild.
It is weird.
It's like it like craves it that much. It like needs to make you feel it, even if it's like without the substance itself.
Yeah.
It's fucking wild, dude.
I'm a very high anxiety person, and that's why I choose to use drugs. Like, I've noticed my anxiety has gotten better while drinking, doing weed, whatever. In
Yeah.
certain scenarios, it's worse, obviously.
I think that's
But
most addicts, honestly.
yeah,
Anxiety is probably the biggest
but also my
cause.
cost of motivation, and I can already tell it's affecting my relationships in my life too. I've gone downhill, and
Yeah.
I don't want to lose people. So
You just got to learn how to use that anxiety appropriately and not accidentally give yourself analysis paralysis. Like, it's an important, good feeling. It's supposed to motivate you. You should feel anxious sometimes, you know.
you should, yeah. Yep.
But I'm trying to get a healthier relationship with anxiety. But I mean, that I think the biggest reason I used is it gave me a false sense of confidence and just short-term relief from having to feel emotions.
Yeah.
And yeah, but I mean, at the cost of literally almost fucking losing my life, you know. So yeah, it's a dangerous bug to have, and I'm starting to understand now that it's a disease. Like, you don't choose to be this way.
You don't. It is a
No.
disease. I
I
hate
mean,
when people say that.
We were born this way. I mean,
Addicts are
it's,
not-
it's on both sides of our family, all the way
Yes.
back to our great grandparents. You know?
It's a mental thing. I hate when people think that you can just turn it off like
It's
a
like
switch.
diabetes.
It's
Like,
not
we,
like that.
We were born this way. We didn't choose
Yeah.
to be this way. And it's crazy because not everybody, just because it's genetically in your family, doesn't mean you're, 100% going to get it. Like, I don't think Aaliyah's an addict,
No, she's not. And her mom,
which is interesting because she
was
has an
a-
addict mother, yeah.
Yeah.
But she doesn't have the bug.
Aaliyah's her sister. I'm
Yeah,
sure most
it's
people
our
know
little
that.
sister.
Yeah.
But, I mean, I'm pretty sure all of us boys do, for sure.
Yeah.
But I mean, yeah, not everybody is bit by it, but we are. And I mean, I think it's a blessing and a curse, you know, because one of the things that was a little bit of a tearjerker for me the other day, I heard in a meeting, was like, addicts and alcoholics are some of the most giving, kind, and like sensitive people. Like, we'll
They
give
are.
you the shirt off your back, and like, I think that's a gift, bro.
I love the community around it.
The fellowship is
yeah.
really nice, you know.
That's beautiful how you put that. Yeah. It is a gift.
And well, I mean, there's workaholism, which it's bad and good depending on your relationship with it. But I think we're also very focused people. Like once we get outside of our addiction, whenever we put our mind to something, we're pretty fucking determined to make it happen.
We are, yeah.
And I think that's cool. I think that's cool as hell.
It is really cool.
I just
You'll
gotta
love
find.
it, and you're gonna feel better.
I just
bro.
gotta find
I'm
my
happy
why.
for you.
And I think we all do, It's an important part of being a human being.
Yeah.
You got to understand what you live for, whether it's your family or your
Bro, I was
God or
honestly
all the
scared for you
above.
for a while. Even your friends were telling me that they thought that you were.
I was scared for myself, dog.
Yeah.
I mean, I was afraid to accidentally OD or,
Uh huh.
get so bad to where I committed suicide. It was pretty scary.
Yeah.
I mean, I was nervous for myself. And the isolation is crazy, too. Like, you just don't want to be around anybody because you don't want to see them to see how bad you are. You're trying to hide it. It's a lonely. It turns into a very lonely, sad game when it gets so bad.
Yeah.
It fucking sucked. That's for sure. And then all the shame dealing with the consequences of what you did, and like I still have yet to have to deal with that because I haven't worked the steps yet. I think it's like step 4, you take a moral inventory, and then step 10, you try to make amends if possible.
Yeah.
I haven't even started to work the steps. I mean, I just got my sponsor today, so I'm kind of nervous about, steps 4 and 10, but I just, again, I take it one day at a time. I mean, I'm not even there yet.
What is 10?
I
10
think
is where you
10
have to
is-
write down everything and.
No, I think 4 is when you take the moral inventory. And,
rewrite everything
yeah,
down.
and then 10 is, I think, when you make amends when and where, if possible.
Yeah.
But I don't have it all memorized yet. I'm still pretty new to this game, but
Yeah.
I don't know.
Maybe I should work the steps again. I haven't done it in a while.
I highly
and it is a
recommend
great
it, dude.
community. I love it.
Yeah, I mean,
I have the NA book actually. You like AA more than NA?
yes, at least in some
I think all
line,
those guys are cooler. They're all smarter. It's a bunch of older guys, but they're all smart.
Yeah, I mean, there tends to be younger
NA is
people in
like-
Narcotics Anonymous, but
Yeah.
they don't take their recovery as seriously, I feel like. they're more likely to relapse. And not that I don't support young people in sobriety at all, because I am a young person. And sometimes I feel isolated in some of the meetings because most people are 15 plus years older than me.
Yes, it's hard to relate with them.
It can be, but at the same time, I'm like, I know these people are taking the program more seriously, and I want what they have, and
You can see yourself like that in the future?
I want to, I aspire to be like them. Like, I don't want to fuck this up. So,
Right.
like, if I have to feel a little bit ostracized by my age, then fuck it. But I mean, at the end of the day, we're all there for the same reason. Like, we're all pretty alike. I mean, age is just a number, realistically.
Yeah.
And I just, I don't want people to fuck up my sobriety. And not to say that all... I mean, listen, I belong in Narcotics Anonymous too, believe me. You know, like, I've suffered with drug addiction as much
I've
as
gone
I
to
have
Narcotics
alcoholism.
Anonymous more than AA, but
I just don't, for whatever reason personally, at least in the Salina area, I don't enjoy the meetings as much.
the Salina, yeah, I'm with you that. Dude, the one in Norton is the best one I've ever been to when I was in rehab.
NA in Norton's pretty good?
Yes, it was so
Yeah.
cool. Their energy's high, they love talking, it's very open community, and they all have relationships. Maybe it's because it's a smaller town, or
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't know. I mean, it is what it is. I mean, I think they basically have the same message, and they're equally as important. You just got to find what works for you. Personally, I prefer Alcoholics Anonymous.
Yeah.
But, you know, I'm sure there's a lot of good NA meetings too. I just haven't found them yet.
Mm-hmm.
It's funny it's funny, like, hearing some of the tea about different programs in different places from some of the older people that have worked the program.
Yeah.
Which it kind of, it's important. It tells you, it's good to get a general understanding of, like, how AA and NA is in your community, so you can kind of pick and choose what works best for you. But for instance, I heard the Recovery Cove for Narcotics Anonymous is just kind of a place where young people go to find people to hook up with.
It is, dude.
And I was like, I'm not
You're not
going
supposed
there,
to do
dude.
that, bro.
No, not at all.
You're not supposed to hook up with anyone
For like a year.
Yeah.
So I'm
You're
like,
supposed to work on yourself.
I was like, I'm not going
they call
there,
it,
dude.
what is the joke? It's like a step or something, like 11th step or whatever, or something like that.
I have no idea. I haven't heard the joke before, but yeah, I'm like, I'm not going there.
Everyone's always trying to hook up with each other, and I'm like, bro.
Fuck that, dude.
Yeah.
If I am going to hook up with somebody during recovery, God forbid, which I know you're really not supposed to, it's not going to be a recovering addict, that's for sure. I'm going to go find a fucking normie, dude.
I don't know. I don't think you can... Well, you can make love happen with anyone, but...
I mean, I understand why they have that rule, and it's probably an important one to follow. Unless you're already in a relationship, like...
Yeah,
you probably should take a year to work on yourself.
yeah.
Because... I mean, romantic relationships take a lot of work and effort, you know? And if you're new to recovery, you need to be putting more of your energy into your recovery than the relationship. And you can't really be a good partner unless you're a good person. And it's hard to be a good person if you don't have a good relationship with your sobriety.
Yeah.
So I get where they're coming from. It's not what I want to hear, though, as a horny young man. Because
It sucks, bro, but it's not like you can't masturbate.
That's true.
Like, yeah.
I mean, you just gotta
Come
be
on.
careful, dude, because, I mean, the thing about being
I
an
think
addict
it's gross
is
just
it goes
hooking up with random people, too.
It goes
The thought
past
of
just
it,
drugs and
I
alcohol. You
wonder
get
this
addicted to
shit. I don't know.
food, working out, bro, pornography. You gotta be fucking careful, dog.
What?
I mean, I said, like, addiction goes past just drugs and alcohol.
Oh,
You
yeah.
can get addicted to food, working out, pornography. You gotta be pretty
Yeah.
careful.
Yeah, you do gotta be careful, yeah.
Well, they even have, like, meetings for sex and love addiction. Like, you could become a sex addict, dude.
You
Like,
can, bro.
Like, I remember...
Like, Shameless? That's what every time I think of a Shame.
Yeah.
Okay, so what's that one guy? Oh, Dan Bilzerian.
Yeah.
He claims to be a sex addict, but he literally just fucks so many girls. So it's like, that's like any guy's dream. So I don't think that's being a sex addict. I think being a sex addict is like that guy off Shameless that, like, he's into everything, you know?
I don't know.
You remember that guy?
Either way, it's
That was-
probably not good for you.
Yeah, either way, it's not.
Yeah.
Maybe it's a spectrum. I could see it like that, probably. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, no one's gonna be perfect either. You're just doing your best to be better, you know?
Uh-huh.
But, fuck, bro. That's especially not what I wanted to hear after getting out of a serious relationship. Like, I'm still kind of holding on to my past relationship that I got out of like 8 months ago, and now I'm gonna have to probably be single for another year.
I was like that too, man. It's not that hard.
I know.
It's really not.
It's
And
just
you're going to love it. You're going to find the right one. You're going to wait.
I just get overwhelmed by hearing the numbers sometimes. But, you know, I'm still young enough to where I have plenty of time to catch up. I just can't rush because, like, this shit's going to take time for sure.
It is. You have to let your wounds heal.
Yeah, I mean, I'm starting over again.
You don't want to go into a relationship all fucked up in the head and you're not right.
Yeah, that would not be good. I mean,
It's
I don't
not.
want to. I mean,
and neither it's not good for the other person either.
exactly. That's what I was about to say.
Yeah.
I don't want to fuck somebody
You're just
else's life
bleeding
up
on
if
them.
I don't have to. You know.
Yeah.
That's not good. So.
How are you doing with your friends? Has it affected friendships? Have you lost some, made some new ones, or?
Well, it's too early to tell because I've barely been sober
I've lost a
for
lot of
2
friends
weeks.
being sober.
I probably will, more than likely.
Yeah.
But there's a couple that, you know.
I've made a lot of really good friends too, though.
I have a few that are a part of my life, not so much physically, but we talk on a regular basis on the phone.
Yeah.
Like Quinn, James, Isaac Copes, Torian. I have very intellectual, good, deep relationships with these people, and they support me no matter what. Yeah. The only thing that's a little bit unfortunate is, like, physically, they're all long distance, so I don't get to see them as often as I would like. I would like to have, you know, more friends I can interact with on a regular basis in person, but I'm sure, like, with recovery and stuff, I'll find those people, especially if I get involved in the community. Which, like, honestly, I fucking love going to meetings, bro. It's really healing. It's like group therapy. It's something I've craved for so long, and I get to eat food, and it's not always shitty, you know, we share laughs and stuff.
Yeah.
You know.
That's true.
I enjoy it. It's fun to me.
It is fun, dude. They're always so happy.
I play pool. Pete and I play pool
We're
today.
making NA and AA sound kind of depressing. It's actually a lot of fun.
It can be hard, but it's
yeah.
really rewarding. And, you know, the fellowship and stuff, like yeah, like I said today, I've ate, like, the other day we had fucking, like, ice cream cake, and, like, there's a taco bar.
Well, dude, they have events too for NA and AA. Like, you can go, like, floating. What is that called? Like,
a float trip on the river.
Yeah, they do stuff like that, or they have, like, sober parties and shit. It's
I think I'm gonna try to go to this young person's group out in Oklahoma in May. I'm gonna sign up for it.
That'd be cool. Can I go with?
Yeah, of course, dude.
Are you just going by yourself or with your sponsor or sponsor?
I mean, I plan on going by myself, but I mean, we can go together if you want. I think you just got to pay like $89. It's for 2 days.
That'd be fun, yeah.
Which is pretty fucking cheap for a trip to Oklahoma. I'm sure they're gonna be feeding us and stuff. But yeah, bro, I'm gonna try to stay pretty actively involved in the community this time and make it fun, so I don't end up making bad decisions. You know, I don't want to feel like a loser anymore. I'd like to start making some progress in my life if I can.
And it's crazy to think that this is how average people are, like average Americans. I think like I said, a lot of people are addicts or they live a shitty life, and it's so sad.
Yeah, it's tough, bro. A lot of people don't even probably know that they are fucked up in the head.
Yeah.
Nobody ever...
They don't want to face it.
Well, maybe they don't even know how to face it because they were never given the tools.
True.
So...
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, I've lived a pretty blessed and fortunate life. Like, even though there's definitely been moments that have been hard, whether it's like financial adversity or physical and verbal abuse, addiction, you know, I've been given a lot of tools to be successful too, and I've had a lot of fortunes that not a lot of other people have received, unfortunately. Like, the gift of therapy was given to me from a pretty young age. That's been beneficial. I mean, I think we were given a pretty good understanding of spirituality, which is important.
Yeah.
You know, our family's always been loving, even though we fuck up a lot, but...
Everyone does.
Yeah, of course. I don't know. I have a lot of gratitude, that's for sure.
That's good.
Yeah. More than I did when I was fucked up. Like, I don't know. It's crazy, like, you don't recognize how crazy you are until you get a little bit of sobriety. Like, it doesn't even make sense why I was acting that way now that I'm a couple weeks removed from it. I was like, what the fuck was I doing? I'm literally insane.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm the same way, bro.
It made no sense.
I'm not normal.
It was weird.
I hate waking up the next day and you're like, what the fuck?
Dude, like,
why was I acting like an idiot?
My blackouts were getting longer and longer, too. Like, I won't remember what I did for hours. And that's scary, dude.
It is scary, yeah.
I had the cops called on me, dog.
This is when you're at the bar.
Well, I don't know how much I want to get into it, but yeah, bro. Kind of. At an apartment. And the only reason I didn't get in trouble was because when the cops came to my house, my address isn't posted and my car is in the driveway. They never had my license plate number, so they weren't ever able to do a welfare check on me. Like, I could have got in trouble for assault, but the person never continued to try to press charges, so it was just dropped. Like, I could have got a felony for assault, bro. Maybe not a felony, but a misdemeanor. That would have sucked.
It's so scary when you black out drink.
Yeah.
You're just not the same person. It's like someone just took over.
Yeah, it's your demons all coming to the surface.
Yeah.
It's weird. I don't know. I mean, outside of addiction, I'd like to get back into working out. I'm still trying to fix my sleep schedule. That's the one thing that sucks about being like new and sobriety. Well, I have so much clarity. Like, my brain works so much better, even though it's only been barely 2 weeks.
Yeah.
But my sleep schedule's fucked, dude. It's hard to fall asleep without drinking myself to sleep, dude. It's really hard. Like, my sleep hygiene is dog shit right now.
I like to do like magnesium, or you can do like cherry juice or something. Or
my stomach's still kind of fucked
I'm trying to
up.
learn to cope with my anxiety at night. Like, write down stuff in my notes, or even kind of meditate almost, like on different body parts, where I'll talk to myself and say stuff that I need to hear. Like, someone taught me this. Like, you're telling yourself, like, I'm here and I'm safe, or whatever you need to hear at that moment.
Yeah, I do that too. I give myself pep talks. I talk to myself like I would talk to somebody else.
Yeah.
And that helps me actually quite a bit.
Yeah.
I try to treat myself like, I try to give myself the kindness that I would give a stranger. Like, if there was a stranger having an anxiety attack, I tried to, like, talk to myself the way I would talk to them.
That's smart. I like that.
And it's like, all right, bro, calm down. It's going to be okay. Like, our fear right now is irrational. Da-da-da.
It's not rational at all.
Yeah.
Like, what's the worst thing that's going to happen? It's
exactly.
so stupid.
Yeah. Which is what Dad always would tell me when I was having anxiety. It's like, dude, your worst case scenario right now isn't even that bad. Like, it's going to be fine. We'll figure it out.
Yeah. I was going to say stuff about friends, but you haven't had to break up with any friends or anything like that?
Not yet. I probably will. My relationship with friends has been rocky at different moments of me trying to get sober. And I definitely have some friends that keep trying to get me to use because they miss using with me.
Yep, cut them off.
Yeah,
Not worth it. Those
bro.
aren't good friends. If you can't hang out with me sober, then I don't want to be your friend.
Yeah, I'm probably going to end up losing quite a bit of friends, to be honest.
It's so sad, too. Like, why do I need to do drugs to go hang out with someone? Like, what the fuck, bro? You're such a loser.
Well,
it's like, come on.
I don't want to call them losers. I just think
they are. It's...
Well, I was that person not too long ago, and I don't feel like a loser myself. I think it's loser activity. I just think you're a sick person. You don't recognize you're being a
little
loser.
Harsh, huh?
Yeah, it's like they're just sick, bro, and they haven't been removed far enough from it to understand that they're sick and they're trying to self-medicate, and like
you just need to educate them. I think some people don't want to be educated.
No,
like, when I tell people that I'm sober, though,
they're protecting themselves.
They get, like, the ick or something. It's like, bro, like, why do you need to drink?
When people get freaked out, like, oh, you have a problem. Like, I need to stay away from you.
Yeah, like, they're going to catch it or something, bro.
Yeah,
it's like,
weird.
what the fuck, dude?
Yeah.
Like, it's not how that works.
No. I think a lot of people in sobriety are way more fucking dependable.
Yeah, they are. And I think it ruins the fun for them. Because when they drink, then they're like, oh, I shouldn't be doing this.
And it probably should.
Yeah,
because
exactly.
They're not making a lot of good decisions.
I
mean, if you think you have a problem, you probably have a problem.
Yeah.
I mean, like, I think substances in moderation can be good if you don't have the disease. There's definitely a lot of things that are
everyone's an addict, obviously.
Yeah, they can be a social lubricant, or they can help you be introspective. And
I might go back to Zen tobacco.
Oh, I need a switch, bro. I've been using,
Nicotine.
and it's fucking makes me feel so dog shit.
Really? I get anxiety. Every time I start like Zen pouches, I'll get anxiety. I'm like, why the fuck do I do this to myself? But I just crave it. Like I just think about it. And
Yeah,
that's how you know you're an addict. It's just
nicotine
like-
gives you really bad anxiety.
Yeah. Well, it makes me talkative is what I like about it too.
It is a neurostimulant.
Yeah. So
I don't know. Zen is a lot fucking better than vaping, though.
yeah,
I
it's
need
the
to-
vehicle you use, you know? So
I need to switch to
I don't
Zen
think-
for sure.
yeah, I don't think weed and tobacco or
That or just quit cold
It's
turkey,
bad.
honestly.
it's just how much you use and abuse it. I can't even do weed because I just get lazy.
Just
I don't
everything
think weed is bad. I think weed is probably one of the best drugs that you probably could do. And I actually like doing weed because it kind of makes me feel vulnerable and scared, and it makes me very introspective. Like I think about myself, and it, like you're like, why was I doing that?
I enjoy
don't
it
know.
too, but I mean, I just don't use it moderately.
Yeah, exactly.
It
That's
can-
why I can't do it. That's,
It
yeah,
can
I
be
don't use it
beneficial.
moderately. Yeah, it can be beneficial.
The same way alcohol can be beneficial as a social lubricant. I
Yeah.
just can't do it because I don't have substance control.
Same. I'm the same way. That's what I was getting into. I can't do it just because I can't control it.
Yeah. I mean,
You-
nicotine
if
is
you
like...
can't control it, then you shouldn't be doing it. If it's controlling you, yeah, you gotta stop.
For health reasons, I don't think anybody should ever try nicotine. Or,
Really?
you know,
Dr. Peter Attia talks about this, where he's like, he doesn't think nicotine is bad itself. If you're getting like pure nicotine, like nicotine gum or Zyn, it's the vehicle you use. Like if you're smoking a cigarette, that's obviously terrible for
well,
you
anything
because
that's
the tobacco's
combustible
soaked
is
in
going to be
chemicals.
carcinogenic.
Yeah, I think smoking is bad. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, Zyn
Even
and
smoking
Nick
weed is
gum
bad for
probably
you.
isn't that bad, but
The best way to do weed would be like edibles.
as far as like addiction goes, I don't even get mad when like people in recovery use cigs because like there's just no consequences other than health.
Well,
Like you're not gonna get nicked out and like go rob somebody or get in a fight. You might get a little irritable if you don't have it, but
yeah.
I don't know. I would definitely like to switch to Zinskis though, so I'm not feeling
Well,
sick
I'd
all
say
the
a
time.
cigarette is probably better than lots of alcohol abuse and meth or something.
Well, that's
you
what
know?
I'm like,
It's
dude. You
who
gotta be
cares?
reasonable too. Like people
Yeah.
aren't gonna give everything up all at once. You'll go fucking
And nicotine
insane.
doesn't destroy your body.
It's like one
If
thing.
you're using nicotine, like if you're using Coke, your body's you can tell that person uses Coke. They get skinny in the face, they lose their muscle mass. Same with meth or even
Yeah.
alcohol. Nicotine doesn't do that. So I get why addicts do it. It
One
makes
thing
the
at
most
a
sense.
time, dude. Just one
Yeah.
thing at a time. I mean, you should always try to get better and maybe eventually cut it out of your life. But like, if
Uh-huh.
someone's early in recovery, I'm not gonna fucking harp on them for doing a cig.
No, it doesn't
It's
make
like you
any sense.
probably should eventually try to give that shit up. But like, I get it. You need this right now. You can't give everything up all at once. You'll go fucking crazy.
Yeah.
The only way to successfully do that is if you fucking lock somebody in a padded room.
Yeah.
It's like, if you have a job and you're trying to get through life,
Uh-huh.
you're not gonna be able to give everything up all at once. It's too overwhelming.
Yeah, that's true.
You need some vices to
Yeah.
as a crutch, you know.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, we're only human.
Fuck, dude. Like, I feel the same. It's like the same way with my cheat days. If you can do it, like every other day, you know, or only on the weekends, I think it's fine.
And you're probably your
I think your
diet's
body
probably
needs
better.
shit stuff sometimes too. Like your body needs like sugars and other bad shit. Because if you're eating too healthy, I think that's a bad relationship too.
I don't know if it
with your
needs
food.
it necessarily, but it makes it easier for you to be more successful because the temptations are all around constantly.
Well, yeah, that's what I mean. You do need it in that way, yeah.
Yeah.
So you're not thinking about it all the time, and I think your body does need it to recover. Like if you're eating too clean, I don't think it is letting your body recover as fast.
Maybe, yeah. I mean, I don't know. My understanding of nutrition isn't amazing, but I'll take your word for it. You're a healthier person than I am.
That's just how I view it.
Yeah.
I think everybody tries to eat too clean, and that also throws them off on their diet.
Well, there's so many
Like-
like different ways to go about it. I mean, there's a lot of super healthy people that practice their health in different ways. You know, there's more
Yeah.
than one way to skin a
That's
cat when
true.
it comes to health and fitness.
That's true. Yeah.
You just gotta find what works for you.
Yeah.
I don't even have groceries in my fridge right now, bro. I'm still like, that's how fucking
We were going grocery shopping.
fucked up my life is right now. I have. This is why I got sober, dude. I gotta figure some shit out.
Madeline and I started the carnivore diet, and we were just like getting all this meat, and I feel like people are just looking at us fucking crazy. Like, it's a lot of meat.
Yeah,
But
that'd be a fun experiment. I'm sure it'll be cool.
yeah.
Tell me how you like it.
I will. I think I'm going to be more tired. I don't know if it's going to be as beneficial for me. For Madeline, it makes a lot of sense because, like I said, she has an
crave
autoimmune
red
disorder.
meat, bro.
Oh, I love red meat. I don't think red meat's bad for you at all.
I mean, once you get over the keto flu, I would imagine you'd feel pretty good.
Well,
I think I'm
even
sensitive.
Joe Rogan had to do an apple before working out because he noticed that he was so dog-ass tired in the gym. Like, your body does need carbs. So I think that's how I'm going to be.
But it's healthy carbs and sugars, and you use it
Yeah.
only during certain, like, before exercise.
Yeah,
and shit
before
like that.
exercises. He'll literally just do one apple. It's not like he does crazy carbs.
I think, yeah, like, it's just complex carbs that are bad for you. The way that we process our wheat and, like, shit is not amazing, and all the pesticides we use.
Yeah.
Not to say, like...
Well, it builds up inflammation, too. Like, even after having, like, beer, like a whole pint of beer, you can just tell your fucking
Our
joints
bodies
are
aren't meant
fucked
to
the
have
next
that
day.
much grain, bro.
Yeah, it's not.
Like, that's not... I think we probably are...
And I think, in a way, that's the way of plants fighting back. Like, they're almost poisoning you. Like...
I don't know if they're necessarily fighting back. I just don't think our bodies were designed to process that amount of shit, you know?
I think it's both, probably.
Maybe.
I do think it is the way of a plant defending themselves so that you don't use it anymore. It builds up inflammation and fucks with your stomach.
Yeah, it's interesting.
And that's why you get, like, bloatedness and stuff, too.
I mean, certain people handle certain shit differently. Like, you just genetically evolved to handle better shit depending on your country of origin and what people's diets were like in that area. Mm-hmm. It's just so hard now because we're all mutts, you know? Everybody...
America's so fucking obese and it
multicultural and shit, like, your genetics, like...
we have all this, like, availability of, like... People have such bad relationships with their food now because you can get whatever you want. Like, they're like, oh, this tastes so good or that tastes good. But it's shit. It's all shit food. Like, thousands of years ago, we weren't able to have all that great food. Like, the food was boring. You're meant to eat, like, boring meals.
Yeah. I mean, I think taste is subjective. The only thing that we're biologically designed to enjoy is breast milk. Anything after that, you learn to enjoy.
Uh-huh.
Just like you learn to like the taste of beer or coffee, even though when you're young it tastes like shit. You know, you develop a palate for things.
Yeah, you do develop.
So if you teach yourself to like shit, you're going to like shit.
Oh, I love my food.
Which is like, I've noticed like
it does get boring though. But
when I eat cleaner, I learn to enjoy cleaner food better.
Yeah, I love eating cleaner food, especially that I know that it's giving me nutrition. This is what I mean by people have bad relationships with their food. Like, they don't understand what they're putting into their body all the time.
I think you can redefine your taste buds with enough practice. It's just hard to be disciplined because, you know, we're social creatures and you want to go out to eat and shit.
Well, getting on a diet, it can teach you to have a better relationship with your food too. Like, okay, I'm eating this because it is beneficial to me. Not I'm eating just to get indulge in it and be gross, you know?
Yeah, and that's cool too. I mean, it's fun to be excited about your food because you know it's going to help you.
Uh-huh.
That's always dope. But, I mean, on the other end of the spectrum, if you get too hyper-focused, it can be very draining to constantly count your macros.
Well, that's why I do cheat days. I think you should count your calories, actually. I do think people should do that. Or have some sense of what they're doing. Maybe you don't need to get it down to the T, but you should definitely be keeping track of your calories so you're not
and I mean,
overeating all the time.
One day of overindulging is not going to fuck up your program if you're consistent 90% of the time.
Exactly.
And I mean, you can eat like The Rock, his cheat days.
I hate when people...
He doesn't always eat bad food. You can still have healthy food on a cheat day. You just don't maybe count your calories and you just enjoy what you want.
Yeah.
You know?
Take a mental health day, kind of,
Yeah.
I hate when people, like, eat one bad food and they're like, oh, I got to throw my diet away, too. It's like, bro, that's not how that works. You just pick up and go where you left off.
That's where I fuck up really
bad. A lot of people fuck up and do that, though.
If I have a bad...
you can still continue your diet.
If I have a bad day of dieting or a bad day of training...
It's not the end of the world.
Because I'm all or none. And it's hard for me to be consistent when I have a bad day. I get really overwhelmed. I mean, not just when it comes to exercise and nutrition, you know, like, that's just the way I am in general in life. Like, when I face adversity sometimes, I give up a little bit too easy.
It's not the end of the world, bro.
No, I know. But it's
you just
like,
keep going on.
failure is a part of life, but I think that's like another reason I have a hard time being successful is because it's like I hate failing. So I'd rather just be a fucking loser so I never really have to know what it's like to fail because I'm like always failing, which makes no sense because then you're constantly living in failure. But
I think failure's fine.
it's a part of the process. You shouldn't be afraid of it. But
No, you shouldn't be
I run
afraid of
from it
failing,
so
yeah.
much that it's almost it's counterintuitive. Like running from it is going to make you.
Well, I hate the
Experience
word
more failure.
failure. Let's replace the word failure with, say, fucking up. Fucking up doesn't sound as harsh as failure. Say you fucked up, it's like, oh well, go on.
Yeah. Maybe even you could replace fucking up with facing adversity.
Yeah. That sounds a lot more
It's just an
positive.
obstacle,
enforcement.
you know?
Yeah, it's an obstacle, yeah. It's like whatever. Go around it, go through it, and then continue on.
Yeah. I mean, that's crazy too, which mom has always enforced in me, even though I feel like she's beating a dead fucking horse sometimes. I get annoyed, is like, the way you talk to yourself and the language you use is very important. Like, just something as simple as replacing fucking up or failure with, facing adversity. Like, it's like the Rastafarians and shit, like, they don't ever use negatives. Like, they don't, like, say... I forget some of their examples, but, like, long story short, positive language is good.
It is,
It's good for you.
Yeah.
Unless you're trying to purposely make someone feel like a piece of shit, which that can, be beneficial in some ways too, like psychological
fear
warfare.
is the best motivation, I think, too.
Yeah,
Fear of
but
being...
I think we all could learn to talk to ourselves better.
Yeah, that's true. You do need to... You are negative sometimes, which I think negative is okay sometimes, but
that's my
you
biggest
do need to work
fault
on
is
being...
I'm at Eeyore.
Yeah,
I've gotten a lot
positive.
better as I've
I'm
gotten
negative
older,
too,
but
but
that's one of my biggest faults is very pessimistic, very nihilistic, bad self-talk.
Yeah.
It's hard for me to be a positive person.
Yeah.
Which I think I
Talk
can't...
to yourself
My best way to be positive
how you
is
would
humor.
your best friend, yeah.
That's why I like humor so much. That's the only way I can, like,
You struggle with confidence like me, I think.
I for sure do. But
Yeah.
that's my way of trying to get joy and squeeze the juice out of life is laughing. I don't know.
Well, I like that about you, too. You're a funny guy. Like I said, I've always thought you could be a comedian, too.
I think you don't take yourself serious. I mean, the best comedians, they don't take themselves too seriously. Which is important. You can still have positive self-talk and not take yourself seriously, but that's not the case with a lot of comedians. A lot of comedians are alcoholics and addicts.
They
and
are,
have
dude.
Bad self-esteem.
It's wild.
Some of the funniest people are so
I was
miserable.
talking about this with my friend the other day. Like, Stephen King, the guy that wrote all those scary movies.
Yeah.
He was a big-ass cokehead. All of his movies were great.
Yeah,
and then once he got sober...
on alcohol and coked up.
Yeah, once he got sober, though, all of his movies were shit. Isn't that weird?
I don't think that that's necessarily true either. A lot of people try to say that, like, when you get sober, you lose your edge or creativity. That's not always the case.
I do think I was more creative when I was drinking. And, like, I was coming up with notes and stuff, and I'm like, okay. I think it can help a little bit. I don't know why. Like,
no,
I think
you can
nicotine
still.
can, too.
I think it's not the alcohol or the drug that helps all the time so much. It's the emotions that come with it, the pain and shit. Like, you can still, like... I still think you can tune into that without being fucking loaded. Yeah. You just have to be emotionally intelligent enough to know how to find it.
It's finding a way to do that.
Without, yeah.
Healthily, I guess, huh?
Yeah, because, I mean, like, there's some comedians that have gotten sober and their material's better. Ron White, for instance.
Yeah.
He's fucking as good as he's ever been. He's sober
now. That guy that was a cokehead, right? Is that who you're talking about?
Well, yeah. I mean, alcoholic, too.
There's some really
smokes
funny...
the cigars on stage, always drinks the whiskey. He's an old dude.
Oh, I'm thinking of someone else. There's a skinny...
Yeah, John Mulaney is who you're
Yeah,
thinking
John
of.
Mulaney.
Yeah,
he was a big cokehead, and he's funny as fuck right now.
That's what I'm saying. Like, Steve-O,
Yeah.
Like, getting sober
Steve-O.
isn't the end of the world. A lot of people, you're better for it. I mean, I think that
Steve-O's
narrative
not my
is
comedy.
a dangerous narrative, and I don't like it. I don't think...
It can be dangerous, too.
Yeah, I don't think just because you get sober, you lose your edge. You just got to find it in a different way, man. Like...
I don't think you lose your edge. Like, you're going to figure it out some way, but I do think
you're not the same, that's for sure.
Maybe, like, even when you're smoking weed, maybe the vulnerability makes you more open-mindedness or something that you think of the stuff that you think about.
Yeah.
There's just something about it, I think, that just helps you, does kind of make you more creative. But there is ways of being creative sober, too, yeah.
Yeah, you just got to, we all have different limitations, and if that's not
That's not
an
an
option
excuse to
for
keep
you.
being an addict.
I mean,
though. Don't be an
yeah,
addict.
exactly.
But
If
yeah,
that's not an
yeah.
option for you, you just have to find a different way to channel that part of yourself.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know, I still think you can find those parts of yourself without drugs and alcohol. It's just
Yeah, you can.
it can be maybe a little bit more difficult.
Yeah.
But once you figure it out, you figure it out. So
Like I remember when I was like a big cokehead in college when I was living with you and stuff. I drew all the time.
yeah, well, you also just have
I think
energy
it
to do
does.
shit.
Yeah. I don't know. Like, for some reason, it just brings the creative side of me out.
Because you got to think about the chemicals and hormones that are being released when you do that shit. You have this false sense of grandiose thoughts and energy.
Oh, I was so fucked in the head when I was on coke, bro. Like my thought process, I'm not the same person.
Yeah.
Like am I scared to be around when I'm a cokehead?
Kind of. You didn't talk too much. You were still pretty reserved at the time. You were kind of silly and stuff. Maybe you could be aggressive, but you really a lot of the time just kept to yourself. You hid a lot, and you hid from me a lot because I think you didn't want me to know you were abusing shit.
Yeah, that's true. I didn't.
But yeah, I mean, my relationship with you when you were at your worst, I was honestly just afraid that you were going to get in trouble, and I felt responsible for you because mom and dad kind of forced me to be, which they won't ever admit, but
Force you to what?
they forced me to be responsible for you. Like, I'm the oldest, I got to keep an eye on you. And that took
That's
me
a lot of responsibility too.
It took me honestly
for you,
probably a couple years after we stopped going to college together for me to not feel responsible for you anymore. I
Starting
had
to
like
figure
a
it out.
lot of horrible anxiety for years about you.
Well, even Isaac said that he was
I was
scared that I was
constantly-
gonna wake up one day and I was dead. And
Well,
I
dude,
don't
I
wanna put
saved you
people
from
through that.
overdosing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I did almost.
I
OD
felt
on alcohol. Yeah.
I felt responsible for you. I constantly followed you everywhere to make sure you didn't fuck up. I saved you from certain things, and then I saved your life, which made me feel like I had to be there for you that much more. Like, I had a horrible lingering sense of anxiety for your well-being for years. And I don't know if I've ever fully expressed that to you or how much that sucked at different moments.
Uh-huh.
Which is fucking crazy because I don't ever want to hold shit over your head. And you've been really helpful to me the past year, but like, I feel guilty accepting help. Like, I don't like it, bro. Because like, I don't know if it's the way we were raised. I think maybe some of it comes from dad, but like,
I don't mind help.
I feel like I get nervous, and the way my brain works is like, I always feel like I got to even the score. Like, shit's transactional. So like, I don't like it feeling like somebody has a leg up on me, like they've done more, you know?
A lot of people are like that.
Not that that's how you should look at
No,
help,
you shouldn't look at
but
it
like
that way.
I don't know. It's
I
hard,
find
bro.
enjoyment helping people. I don't expect anything back from you when I help you.
Yeah.
And that's how you have to see it. Don't set your expectations for people so high. When you put your expectations for people low and you don't see them giving you anything back,
See,
that's
I don't
how
have
you
that.
should see it.
But what I'm saying is, I don't have that expectation for you. I have it for myself. Like, I feel like I need to make things right since somebody tried to make things
Don't
right by
feel
me
like
or
that,
be
dude.
useful.
Like I think you helped me out a lot, but like I said, I find enjoyment helping you. I don't expect you to help me out back, and I think that's how you should see it.
Yeah, that's fair.
Like, don't you feel better after helping someone?
I always do, yeah. Most of the time, unless they're ungrateful.
Now,
or-
I also think in the business world, it's a little bit, it's a little bit more manipulative, like in certain scenarios. Like, people do have dark triads, like being competitive or can use people. But I think if you're using it in a good way, like, I think sometimes people are afraid of natural human emotions. Like, we do have dark sides of us. It's just learning to control that. Like, say if I want something out of someone, if I want someone to be if I want to learn something from someone, that I could do that to someone that looks up to me, and I can use them to show me that trick. But at the same time, they're getting closer to me because they look up to me. So it's like, is that okay then?
Yeah, I understand. All relationships deal with manipulation. You just have to, you make the decision whether or not you want to use it for good or bad.
Yeah, exactly. If you're
So.
doing it in a good situation, I think it's fine.
Yeah. There's nothing wrong with being persuasive, especially if it's in somebody's best interest.
Exactly, yeah. Like, it's fine to be manipulative in a good way.
Yeah.
Not that I would ever do that to you. Maybe.
Well, you would, because you love
Actually,
me.
yeah, I probably would, yeah.
It's just manipulation. It sounds like
It sounds
it's a scary word. That's why I
It is a
use
scary word to
persuasive.
say.
Like that's like
Yeah.
language
Persuasive is a better word, huh?
Yeah, well, that's why English is so
It's weird.
funny
huh?
like that, because different words have different connotations. That's why we have synonyms. It's a strange language, but they mean the same thing. Just one sounds shittier than the other for whatever reason.
But the 48 Laws of Power is like that. Well, it's all based off of the business world. The business world is very manipulative. So I want to get into it and read it. I haven't read it yet. I've watched videos on the author. What's his name?
I don't know.
Green or something. And I also want to read The Art of Seduction by him.
That makes me laugh. I think I actually know who you're talking about. I don't remember his name off the top of my head.
He's so smart. He wrote a book about 50 Cent.
But I saw what he looked like. And
Yeah.
It's like kind of an ugly looking.
He is
dude,
an
but
ugly
he's-
guy.
He's talking about getting bitches. I'm like, you're funny, bro.
He is hilarious, bro. I wonder if he actually gets bitches. He probably does. He's a funny guy.
Well, I think he's intelligent enough that there's a spectrum of what you can get yourself personally based on your look and your success.
Yeah.
I think that's why I always laugh is like a lot of men have
Your
unrealistic
status.
expectations.
Yeah.
Because like you work at Dollar General and you're obese, you're not going to get an Instagram model. Like some people have unrealistic expectations of what they can achieve.
So true, yeah.
That makes me laugh my ass off.
Yeah.
You have to be reasonable at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Like if you want that, that's cool, but you have a lot of work to do, buddy. Before
True.
that's even an option.
For real.
Yeah.
It's like, bro, people don't see that. Like,
Yeah.
come on, bro. I hate when people like or judge other people when they're not the best themselves.
I don't like to
you
crush
have
people's
no room to
dreams.
judge.
Like I really don't like to crush people's dreams. Like if that's what you aspire to, that's fucking great. Go for it. But understand the obstacles realistically, and you better work pretty fucking hard. You know what I'm saying? It's like,
for real.
I'm not gonna be a boner killer. I might fucking give
Anything
you.
is
I might give
possible.
you a dose of reality, but I'm not gonna say you it's. I'm not gonna tell you it's impossible.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna let you know like you gotta work hard, and these are probably some of the obstacles you're gonna face.
Yeah, that's true.
But I don't know. Some people think they can skip all the steps. It's like, yeah, you still have steps 2 through 9. You can't just go from 1 to 10 right away.
Right.
I don't know.
Right. I think it's a good way to end the podcast. Love you,
feel
bro.
ya.
I'm proud of you.
I love you too, dog. If you want to go to a meeting with me, just let me know, brother.
For sure.